there everybody, and welcome to today's pick a card reading with me, the high maintenance hippie. And today's pick a card reading is a future spouse pick a card reading, yeah, where I want to find out what your future spouse will crave about you. So I want to look into what hit them in the feels and those erogenous zones and what they desire and just had to have when it came to you. Now I am super proud to announce that today's video is in collaboration with Spiritual Beast, aka Rain, who is a fellow tarot reader and pick a card reader on YouTube, and she will be doing her own future spouse video where she's going to look into your future spouse's confessions. So if you want to check out her video, which is bound to be super juicy, I have her links in the description down below, and you can find her at Spiritual Beast Tarot. But if you want to find out this juicy information and find out what your future spouse will crave about you, I need you to pick one of these three piles. Pile number one, we have Morgan Le Fay. Pile number two, we have Green Tara. And pile number three is Saint Lucy. I highly recommend that you go with your first gut instinct. Spirit is going to guide you towards a pile which has the most relevant information for you. And once you have chosen your pile, I shall see you in your reading. Hello there, gorgeous pile number one. Welcome to your reading. Let's find out what your future spouse will crave about you. Now, as I tap into your energy, I feel an air of mystery around you and an air of inner power. I don't know whether the number 16 means anything to you or 1616. I'm also feeling the number 8 coming through as well. So you may have been seeing the angel number 888 or 8888, or the number 8 may mean something to you. So you could be born on the 8th, or the 18th, or the 28th. You could be born in the 8th month. You could be born on a year with an 8 in it, 1988, 1998. You could be a life path number 8, or you could be experiencing a numerological year number 8 currently. I feel like your future spouse is really drawn to anything that's a little bit of a challenge that's coming through very strongly, but also they're drawn to like learning, education. So it makes me feel if there's anything around you that's mysterious, they're going to want to uncover that. I don't know whether your future spouse does have a lot of Scorpio energy. This could be a sun, moon, rising, could be a Jupiter, okay, could be a ton of Scorpio that you don't know about unless you do pull up their full birth chart, or whether you have that Scorpio energy yourself. There's definitely something around your future spouse being very intuitive. Now, I don't know whether you're going to know this off the bat. I don't know whether they're going to be somebody who expresses that they're a little bit psychic, or they use forms of divination, or maybe they use this intuition in a more practical way with like investments and things like that. Because I'm also sensing some of you may attract somebody who is, I don't know why I'm struggling to say this word, a little bit superficial. They're not aware of their abilities, they're not aware of how intuitive they are and how much they foresee things. And they naturally use that within their career and have a lot of success from that. But I do think you both share this like intuitive power, and like there's like magic that lives within both of you. I do see that you could have some Taurus in your chart. So you could be a Taurus Sun, Taurus Venus. Could have Venus in the 7th house. But I do also see this energy being an energy of you stripping back at the moment. So I don't know whether you're shedding things in your life at the moment, whether old friendships are falling away or you've left a career behind, because I do see there being a level of shedding here. Because Spirit is specifically saying you're making room for something better to come in, but there's also an energy around you lightening your load, lightening your energy field. I don't know whether you've been feeling an urge to kind of strip back when it comes to your physical appearance as well. For instance, if you are a female, maybe you've decided that you're going through a phase where you're not wearing as much makeup. Maybe you're deciding to let your natural hair colour grow through. I mean, I can resonate with this as well. I've decided to not wear false lashes, and it doesn't mean that I'm never going to wear false lashes again. It's just a phase I'm going through where I just feel a lot more comfortable and a lot more in tune with myself, taking away like those more superficial things that represent who I am. So I don't know whether you're going through a phase of that, but I can also see with this like Taurus and Venusian energy, do want to throw Libra out there for you guys as well, that's coming through too. But with this very Venusian and Taurian energy that's coming through, I do feel like you guys are very naturally beautiful. There's something in particular about your face. I don't know whether you've got very prominent eyes. This could be blue eyes. Maybe you have blue eyes and you actually dye your hair darker. Or it could just be like very prominent eyes in some kind of way, very intense looking eyes. I do think it's the eyes that draw your future spouse in particular. I think you just look, like your energy and your look is so mysterious. I don't know whether you've got like a resting bitch face or whether you've got like an amazing poker face. Because your future spouse loves a challenge. And you most certainly are a challenge, but they sense that power within you, and I think they just sense that you guys have the ability to be a power couple. I want to say that they sense it on like the moment they see you, the moment they are in your energy or experience your energy, if that's not in person, if that's even on messages or anything like that. I think instantly they just know that there's something about you. They know that there's something to discover. They know that there's something very fated around you both. Like fate has brought you guys together. There could even be elements here of like past life connections. You guys could have brought this relationship from a past life into this life. I want to say like there's an element with ease with you and your future spouse when you first meet, like you've known each other before, like you. It doesn't take long until you cross that comfort boundary. I don't want to say there's an energy here of you guys could cross as being like siblings or like best friends. And I mean, this could literally be in like within like a week of knowing each other, because your energy is so easy together. It's like you guys will sit on your first date, and after the first 10 minutes, you're both like sitting back in your chairs and you're both just like snorting or doing anything that you'd normally find like cringy if you did it in front of anybody else. But you guys are just chilled, laid back, and it's like, wow, like I really feel like this is not our first rodeo. Like I feel like we've done this before. I feel like I've known you in a different life. And if that is the case, I want to say you guys have known each other in a different life. You're just so fierce. That's coming through so strongly. You're so fierce. It also makes me think that you might have a very prominent Mars placement. Maybe you have a Mars in Taurus. Maybe you have Mars in the 7th house. Or conjunct the descendant. Mars conjunct Venus. Something along those lines. Mars in the 1st house is coming through very strongly here. I'm just hearing Megan Fox now. Megan Fox is a Capricorn rising, so we could also be looking at some Capricorn risings. I want to say, like, you're like Marmite. People either love you or they dislike you, but this makes your future spouse crave you even more. I think they like the fact that there could be a little bit of controversy if you guys get together and get it on. I want to say your future spouse likes attention, and you are the perfect person to bring that attention onto them. So I don't know whether that makes any sense to you at all. I don't know whether you practice witchcraft. Could be somebody who loves to light a candle. I think a lot of us love to light a candle, but that's coming through very strongly. Like, you love to light a candle. I think like your perfect like first date would be, this is really random, and maybe for some of you you'd be like, yeah, like that's literally my perfect first date, and for some of you you might be like, I've never thought of that before, but that is now my perfect first date. But I can see like the perfect first date, and for some of you this actually could be your first date, by the way. Somebody rents out like a little, like, it's like a little cottage, like, it's like all I'm seeing is like a wooden built like little house, and it's like in the woods. It's really cozy. Could be a hot tub there, it doesn't have to be a hot tub there, but like they rent out like a little cottage in the woods basically, and your future spouse, they offer to cook you like a 3-course meal, and you have to turn up. Like, they give you the address and you're like, where am I going? Is this like, this is so random. I'm even like a little bit scared because I can see from the sat nav that this is like in the middle of absolute nowhere, and you're asked to turn up like about an hour after they turn up. And when you turn up, they're cooking dinner. I think they're like running a little bit late. I'm seeing this so strongly now, so I don't know whether this is actually going to come true for a lot of you, but they're cooking dinner and they're kind of like a little bit flustered. I even want to say like they've got their top off. Oh my god, this is so hot now. Like they've got their top off and like they're just cooking away. and they're kind of like really kind of like flustered because they're like, oh, this was all supposed to be done by now. But you turn up and you just see like rows and rows of like candles. There's roses there as well. And it's just so cozy, it's so beautiful, it's so romantic, and it is so thoughtful. And like, I think this is why that energy was coming in, like you like to light a candle. I think you really appreciate the beauty of candles. Like that's what's coming through very strongly. Oh, I love that vision for you. Like that is so effing beautiful. That's actually like that now goes down as my ideal first date. That would be absolutely gorgeous. I feel like you're doing a lot of shedding at the moment. If I've not already said this, weirdly I think I've already said this, but I feel like you're doing a lot of shedding at the moment and lightening your energetic load because new stuff is going to come in. And I want to say, like, the new stuff that's going to come in, and for a lot of you, I do think it is going to be this future spouse, they're going to come in like with an impact. Boom. It makes me think they're going to come in very quickly, very fast, very rapid. I want to say, after you've done this releasing and you've energetically lightened your load, lots of like surprises are coming your way. So expect a few shocks, but it's in a very surprising and positive way. I feel like you've been through a lot because your energy is very mysterious, it's quite stern. And I feel like that's been a coping mechanism for you to protect yourself and protect your more vulnerable emotions. I think you're going to find you mirror this with your future spouse. And I think they really like the fact that like your love is protected because you both have that same kind of like stern attitude. You're not going to let anybody into your life, into your energy, or into your relationship willy-nilly. You two kind of stand there like, it's like really intimidating actually, you two together. You really are like the ultimate power couple. I want to say you might share the same kind of intense glare as well. Like people ain't gonna mess with you guys. I think you guys can walk into a room and everyone else will just be like, wow, who are they? To the point where they might even think, wow, are they well known? Are they really like wealthy? Are they famous? Like you both have that kind of energy. But you're protected because of that energy as well, because people just are not going to cross your boundaries. They're not going to cross any boundaries within your relationship. So I think there's also a hell of a lot of trust within this relationship as well. And just a coolness and a laid backness when it comes to this relationship too. So I want to say one of the main things that your future spouse craves when it comes to you is your power. Because I think they are a very powerful person. I think they've got a lot of layers, they're quite complex. And they need someone to match that level of power. They really want a counterpart. They're not looking for an opposite. They're not looking for somebody who's just like, la-di-da, I just skip in the fields of daisies. Like, they're looking for somebody who's just like them. They're more trustworthy in people like you because they know that people like you have boundaries. People like you have built a level of respect for themselves as well. This ain't the kind of person who's just going to give their heart away to anybody. This is somebody who's got a lot to lose, is actually what I'm hearing very strongly. So they're not going to just put that energy in with flaky people. They're going to want to put that energy in with somebody who's like a boss. That's what I'm hearing very strongly, like boss energy. You both need to be bosses. This is somebody who likes a challenge as well. So they're not going to go for somebody who's meek because it's too easy for them. They know they'll get bored. They need somebody who'll challenge them as well. Whether that be like competitively, whether that be intellectually. Okay. I think they really notice there's something around curly hair with you. They really like your hair when it's curly or when it's wavy. I think they're really attracted to hair in particular. I think it's one of their favourite, like they understand like how mesmerising hair can be. Like hair is so mesmerising to them, and I think they do look at hair health as an indication of physical health as well. They're very, very conscious about the body. There's something around your body that's very feminine, but it's also very strong looking. So there's something that they really crave that as well. They really like the fact that like you're feminine and strong looking. Because I think they're very body conscious, so they're very body conscious about the people that they give their body to. They definitely like androgyny in their person as well. And you really do show that level of androgyny. I just feel like you can pull off like masculine styles. There's like literally a very, whether you're male or female watching this, like you're very masculine, even if you are a female. But it's like you pull off this like perfect balance of masculine and feminine, because you have such like a masculine boss-like energy, but your physical appearance is so feline and feminine. They love it when you wear dresses, and I feel like one of the first times they meet you, you are going to be wearing something black. And I really want to say, for a lot of you, I think this is going to be a particular black dress, and it could be a dress where you know it cinches you in at the waist, or you have like a belt on which cinches you in at the waist. You're a shining star, that just came through. They're a shining star. Pile number one is number one, they are a shining star. Sorry, that just came through completely randomly. The lady here, she's wearing socks, like knee-high socks. So there's something a little bit preppy about you as well, whether it's your future spouse who likes that more preppy look. Maybe they're a bit of a leg person. Maybe they're very like zoned in on the legs. Because I can see socks here and I can see stockings here with this lady, okay? Beauty spots as well. Can you see here just under her eye? I don't know whether you have a beauty spot in particular, a very prominent beauty spot. It doesn't have to be on your face, it can be anywhere. I know I have a beauty spot on my face, but I do also have one on one of my feet as well, which I've always thought, oh my god, that's so cute, if I do say so myself. So if you do have like a prominent mole or birthmark, maybe you even feel really anxious about this. They're really, really zoned in. They zone in, it's like they, yes, Taurus Venus here, they zone in on the finer details. If you have tattoos, they find those ultimately sexy here as well. Then there's something about your creative power that they really admire. And I think this is more of a subconscious thing. It's like there's something written within your contract together that says that you guys are going to create like a bit of an empire. But I think when you both meet, you're both not consciously thinking that, but it's kind of written in your soul's contract together, or your partnership together. So they're really drawn to like this creative energy that you have. There may be something very inventive about you, very progressive. So you may be extremely creative. You may be somebody who can make something from nothing. Maybe they're somebody who can make something from nothing. But your future really does bring a lot of like power, a lot of success, a lot of finances, a lot of comfort. You both give me quite like workaholic vibes here as well. Something they absolutely adore about you, and I know that this is like what they crave about you, but I just want to throw a little bit of like everything into this reading in particular. Your emotion is only for them. No one else sees your full Ace of Cups here. That is only for them. They crave the exclusivity of being with you. They crave that feeling of like, wow, I'm the only one. I feel so special. I feel exclusive being with pile number one. And it's because you, as I said, you just don't give that ish out willy-nilly. They crave your strength as well. Maybe you've walked away from relationships in the past that had a lot of potential. But because maybe there's just some, it's like this perfection is coming through very, very strongly here. So I don't know whether, I feel like you're definitely a perfectionist. But when this perfection's coming through, I don't know whether they're telling me this because they're saying you, whether it's a good thing that you only seek perfection, or whether they're saying to kind of calm down the perfectionism a little bit. Maybe both are coming in, because maybe for some of you, you need to accept that not everything's going to be perfect. And you'll know if you're a little bit fussy, because you'll be somebody who says, oh my God, I'm so flipping fussy. And it may be the fact that, yes, you know, you are correct to have walked away from past relationships because they weren't perfect. But maybe this one is going to require like a little bit of work until you reach those more like perfect balanced levels, okay? So it might be telling you to kind of keep your eye open around perfection and things like that. Like perfection isn't, I'm hearing something coming through now. I'm hearing perfection is the road to sadness. Perfection is the road to sadness is coming through. So for some of you, when you're seeking that perfection, you're taking away the journey and the excitement that comes with that journey to trying to constantly reach for that perfection. And then for some of you, I feel like you need to be seeking more perfection, and maybe you're second guessing a lot of situations that you've left in the past because you've settled for less than perfect. So let that fit for you, whatever that means for you, okay? Whether you fall in the overly perfectionistic camp, or whether you fall in the camp where you know you're looking for perfection, you know you deserve it, but you've kind of let things happen or let situations happen within love that you shouldn't have because you felt like you were being too overly perfectionistic, if you know what I mean. They also crave your mind. Something very strong about your mind, the fact that you overthink everything. And I definitely feel like but this thing is, they're impressed with how active your mind is and how you kind of seek the minor details within any situation. But you actually do it through anxiety, whether you know it or not. It's just like a form of anxiety for you. I think they also crave like the challenge with you, the fact that they know that they're not going to get away with ish with you that they may have done previously. I think they really crave a telling off by you, actually. I don't know whether they're somebody who's really dominant naturally, like an alpha or sigma, and they're subconsciously seeking somebody who can dominate them. And I don't think this is like fully dominate. I think this is just someone they can have a little bit of competition with, someone who they can have like challenge with, especially in the bedroom as well. They really do crave somebody who can support them too. And this isn't in an emotional way. They're not looking for like a mother figure or a father figure, but they really are looking for somebody who can, like, you know, carry a bit of a heavy load as well. Okay, they're looking for somebody who they can partner up with, who they can team with, and who they can achieve more with. So they are looking for a supportive relationship in that kind of sense. And you're strong enough and you're powerful enough to be able to, you know, keep up with their pace, I want to say. There's something very humorous about you and something very playful about you when it comes to words. It's like you've got all this seriousness, but there's like so much emotion underneath with you. There's humour underneath there. It's like you really do hold back the gifts that you have, and you only show that to a select few. And again, like, they love that. They crave more of that emotional and quirky and humorous light energy that's within you. But again, they know that you're not using that with anybody. They know that you're only using that with them and a select few of people. And again, it's that exclusivity coming through. There's something around you and them never having to face like massive challenges together. Like, you're always facing just little challenges. Whenever it comes to any relationship, there is always going to be challenges. I've been doing a course recently where when you meet somebody, you have I think there's like 5 or 6 stages. I did this part of the course a couple of weeks ago and I don't have the paperwork with me now, but if I butcher it, I do apologise. But I think there's either 5 or 6 stages. No, it's 5 stages. It's 5 stages. And I'm not going to state all the stages because I cannot remember off the top of my head, but something I found incredibly interesting whilst doing this course is the first stage of a relationship, of course, is that honeymoon period. Now, they didn't say this in the course, but it made me think about the fact that we need that honeymoon period where everything is light, everything is airy, we do more for another person than we normally would do, okay? We're there for another person, we're more available for this person, we want to be with this person, it's only this person, we don't have eyes for anybody else but this person when we're in that honeymoon phase, because that is the building of foundations phase of a relationship. So that honeymoon phase that lasts from anywhere from about 3 months to 1.5 years is so important when it comes to the building of the foundations of the relationship, because whenever there is any challenge within the relationship from then onwards, you are always going to look at the health of that relationship by looking at the foundations of the relationship that you guys built in the honeymoon phase. Now, that's not the point I was making, I just had to get that in there. So first phase, honeymoon phase. The second phase after the honeymoon phase goes straight into challenge. So how many of us have been in relationships from anywhere from 3 months to 1.5 years, and then after that 3 month or 1.5 years or anywhere in between phase, we go straight into challenge and go, oh, maybe this isn't for us, and we duck out of the relationship. I know that there was a long period of my life where my relationships would always last 1.5 years without fail, and I'd duck out after that because I'm like, oh, whoa, wait a minute. Honeymoon phase is over, clearly this person isn't for me, and I duck out. And now I'm older and wiser, I look back at those relationships and there's at least one of them where I'm like, damn, I could have done with sticking in that relationship. And I'm not ashamed to say that at all. So yeah, Dan, if you're out there, I regret it. Doesn't mean I'm still in love with him or anything like that, but I definitely look back at that relationship, I'm like, you idiot, Sarah, what in the hell? But yeah, straight after the honeymoon phase, we have challenge, because as soon as the rose-coloured spectacles come off, we see that person for who they actually are. We see that we are in a committed relationship with somebody who has positives and negatives, perfections and imperfections. And we have to deal with the elements of that person that don't quite mesh with us. Like, no one is ever going to be perfect for anybody. You are always going to reach this challenge phase within your relationships when the rose-coloured spectacles slip off and you see somebody for who they really are. Now, sometimes you're going to see this person for who they really are, and they're going to end up being toxic and somebody that you need to run a flipping mile from. But then sometimes these rose-coloured spectacles are going to slip off and this honeymoon phase is going to end, and you're going to look at this person and be like, do you know what? Like, you are 90% perfect for me, but there's that 10% that ain't. And then when it comes to that 10%, that's when you guys do this like compromise within this challenge phase. So when it comes to the challenge phase for you and your future spouse, the challenges are small. They're not big challenges, they're small challenges. And maybe you've experienced big challenges in the past with previous partners, and maybe they've experienced those big challenges in the past with previous partners. But together, the challenges that you guys have to overcome when it comes to the challenge phase, they are small, very small. And whenever you guys have arguments, and whether you guys do, have your, lower times in the relationship, because look, whenever there's emotions involved, and there should be emotions involved in your relationship, otherwise why in the hell are you in it? Emotions they're like the sea, they're like water. It's never always calm. The tides come in, the tides come out. Water is fluid, it's movable. There's waves one day, there's no waves the other day, okay? Water is not supposed to stand still. When water stands still, what do we get? A stinky swamp. So yeah. But when you do have challenges in your relationship with your future spouse, as we do in every single relationship, they're very minute, they're very small, and they're easy to iron out. And again, this is something subconsciously that they feel within your energy field, and they crave that easier and calmer relationship, even though they don't realise it. They don't realise they're craving it because it's subconscious. Something around you guys being very willing to compromise with each other as well here with the compromise card. And again, that's something that they really adore about you, your ability to compromise and your ability to see situations. Again, it's these minor details that most people normally bypass. You're able to zone in on these minor details and see like the core of a situation, see the strands of a situation, the threads of a situation. It's like you're so good at seeing the tinier, what am I saying? You're so good at seeing like the smaller details within a situation that you can zone straight into the problem and kind of fix that thread or fix that stitch in that moment so that the whole garment doesn't fall apart. Where so many people don't have that skill that you do, and they'll bypass these like tiny details, and next thing you know, like their trousers have fell to pieces and they're in public and their bum's out. Like, why do I even, whatever, okay. But on the other side, there is an element of you that is always a little bit of a challenge. You're always going to be a little bit of a challenge. It's like a little kind of, there's like something a little bit promiscuous about you, and not in like a SLAGGY kind of way, but I think your future spouse thinks if pole number one showed their charm to everybody, I'd be in a bit of trouble. Looking at this shell, that looks a little bit like a mouth with very sharp teeth. So there could be something very sharp about your energy as well. I really do think there's something sharp about the way that you speak, your vocabulary that you use, very witty as well. Something around you outsmarting them, and it's like your future spouse gets turned on when they're a little bit scared and then when they're a little bit intimidated. And I think it takes a lot to scare and intimidate your future spouse. And I don't think they've had it very often. They haven't experienced this type of intimidation or fear very often when it comes to a partner. But you got some power in you, babes. You've got some power. And that really excites them. Okay. And they do crave that. And they have always craved that in somebody that they're going to settle down with long term. Right, pile number 1, I'm going to leave that there. I really hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, I please ask that you drop it a like, that you comment down below and tell me anything about this reading. Tell me whether you resonate, tell me whether this person sounds like you, whether this person sounds like your future spouse. And please be sure to go over to Spiritual Beast's channel and check out her future spouse reading. It is bound to be fun, and I cannot wait to get the kettle on and sit down with a nice lemon and lime tea and pick one of her piles in her reading. I'm so excited to do that. Please subscribe if you do like content like this, because it means that you will be notified whenever I do post a new video. And yours, pile number 1, take care of yourselves, and I shall see you next time. Goodbye. Hello there, stunning pile number 2, and welcome to your reading. Let's find out what your future spouse will crave about you. So you guys chose green Tara, and I keep hearing green tea in my head instead of green Tara. So I don't know whether you guys like green tea. Green tea is very detoxifying, so I don't know whether you're going through a detox at the moment, or whether you've just discovered green tea and you love its like health benefits. I want to say that you could be very drawn to nature and the outdoors. Maybe you live somewhere where there's a lot of nature, or you're planning to move somewhere where there's a lot of nature. Maybe your perfect kind of breakaway is somewhere in the wilderness, somewhere in nature. I do get that you guys are very active as well. I don't know whether green is your favourite colour, and I know that sounds super basic, but you may have a connection to the colour green. You may like to have like green crystals, or be drawn to green crystals. You may be drawn to plants. You may have a house that's just full of plants, or you have a dream of a home that's just full of greenery. But I feel like the colour green is very grounding and very healing for you guys. There's something around your breasts in particular. I feel like your future spouse really craves to get their hands around the breast area on you. I feel like a flow with you and an ease with you. I don't know whether you've reached a point in your life where things are flowing, where the manifestations are coming into fruition. I don't know whether it's always been this way for you, or whether this is something new. Maybe you've recently had like a big detox in your life. Maybe you've had to detox a past relationship, or you've had to move away from some toxicity, and now your energy has just kind of opened up and everything seems to flow a little easier than before. Now you've had this detox. There's something around your body being very, very elegant. Whether you're male or female, there's an elegance to your body. And I want to actually say, because I'm hearing the words here very strongly, fit AF. So fit as FCUK here. Now I do have like a little fly friend on the table, and it is distracting me a little bit, so if you could just fly off, thank you very much. I want to also say actually there may be something around you and animals, and you and children. Maybe if there's like a dog off a lead and you're with like a group of 5 people taking a walk in the woods, it's you that the dog comes up to. Maybe you like to speak to animals. You could even be someone who's like an animal psychic. But it's the same with children as well. I want to say children are really drawn to you. I actually want to say you've got a very strong childlike energy. It's like your aura is like a child's aura. It's bright and it's pure. There's such a strong purity with you. I want to say that your crown chakra at the moment in particular is very, very strong. You gain a lot of downloads from the divine. And I think you listen to those downloads as well. And that's why like your life at the moment just seems to flow so nicely. I don't know whether you've got a connection with the lotus flower. I can't remember what the lotus represents. I want to say there's like peace connected to the lotus flower, but I do want to say because luck's coming into it, something else is coming through. Because luck's coming into it, I want to say that you're due some luck. But I think you'll know what this thing is that's coming, because there's something around you just knowing stuff. Like, I know it just sounds like, it sounds like I've literally just like lost like the communication thread here, but It's like you are expecting something and I'm telling you that it's coming, but you sort of know it's coming, but it's nice to have the clarification that it's coming. Something here around you meeting a future spouse through a friend. I can see you going to you're going to a partner of a friend's house. And this doesn't have to be for everybody, okay? But I'm seeing this very, very strongly here. You're going to the partner of a friend's house and their partner has a friend and you guys hit it off. It doesn't have to be that you go to their house. It could be that you go on a night out and your friend meets their partner and then you meet their partner's friend and it's like, whoa. So you could know your future spouse through a friend or meet them through a friend. There's something about you mixing, like, man, it's like, I don't know whether you like creating cocktails. That's coming up as well. I know that was a little bit random. I don't know whether you have like silk sheets on your bed, or you used to have silk sheets on your bed and you want to have silk sheets on your bed again. There's something around silk. I don't know whether you like to wear a lot of silks. Something around the way that you dress. It's very flowy again. It's very natural. Something around your stomach area as well being extremely attractive. So your future spouse is literally so attracted to this top half section of your body. Spirit is saying she's giving face to. Now, if you're a masculine watching this, same to you, you're giving face. But Spirit just literally said she's giving face to. I don't know whether you're a Taurus, whether you're a Cancer. I don't know whether you've got a Taurus 4th house, Taurus IC. I don't know whether you've got a South Node in Taurus or South Node in the 4th house as well. I feel like something that your future spouse may crave from you is your ability of like knowing and foreseeing and being like, look, I know that this is the right direction to take. I know that I'm supposed to go right instead of left. I know that this career move is good for me. Like there's just a knowing with you because you go with your gut, you feel it in your gut. And if you're watching this and you don't go with your gut, I want to say trust that gut more. I do see a house move for you, whether you've already made this move, and I do think I could have mentioned a detox previously and you potentially leaving a relationship or moving out of an area or moving house, but I do see a house move has either happened or it's coming for you. I want to say if you're not moving house, there is a need to kind of refresh the house in some way. Maybe it's time to have more greenery in the house. But something your future spouse really craves is this natural energy that you have, this natural flow that you have. How you always seem to be in the right place at the right time, that's coming up very strongly here as well. Now, I think your future spouse can learn a lot from you because I think your future spouse could be somebody who second guesses themselves. And maybe they're a little bit more indecisive. I'm feeling Libra energy with your future spouse quite strongly here. There's a little bit of fire energy with you too. Don't know whether you've got like a little bit of Leo. Maybe you're like a Leo rising as well. Okay. But your future spouse craves your decisiveness, first and foremost. I also think your future spouse is so indecisive, but when they meet you, it's the first time in a long time that they've ever been decisive. Like, oh my gosh. It's like love at first sight when your future spouse meets you and they're like, wow, like I can't decide what I'm having for dinner. I can't decide what time I want to go home tonight. I can't decide whether I'm drinking beer tonight or not. But what I can decide in this moment is that is my future spouse. Pile number 2 is my future spouse. And that's absolutely beautiful. I sense a lot of you having a darker skin tone. For some of you, it may be an olive tone as well. You could be a bit like me, where I'm blonde and blue-eyed, but I do have quite a dark skin tone for somebody who's naturally blonde and blue-eyed. But there's something around like a sheen to your skin as well. It's like dark and there's a sheen to it. Oh, it's just giving me like, it's hot, by the way. Pile number 2, I think you guys are really hot. Because I'm seeing a vision of somebody now with like their dark skin, like a sheen on the skin, and I'm kind of like a little bit turned on. It's like there's so much like definition as well. Like this sheen and this darker skin tone really enhances your definition. It makes you look so strong and athletic. I want to say like statuesque as well for some of you. It's like unreal. All I'm hearing is unreal. I don't know whether you get a lot of people saying like, oh my God, girl, you look unreal. And obviously if you're masculine, you may get the same kind of thing. Like, oh my God, you look unreal. There's something around you really looking unreal, like goddess-like. And there's this like elegance to you as well. I think for some of you, you could be quite tall or you could look tall. I do know. I think I've said this in a previous video. A lot of people think I'm 6 foot. Like when they look at my pictures, they're like, oh, I was expecting you to be a tall girl or to be 6 foot. And I'm actually 5'5". So when people meet me, they're like, whoa, what the hell? But there's just something around my proportions that make me look taller than I am on pictures. It's really bizarre. So for some of you, you may have that same phenomenon happen to you, even if you are like a shorter person. And then for some of you, you may actually be tall, because I'm getting supermodel vibes with you. It's like you're striking and you're stunning like a supermodel. I'm going to say it, I always do, it's those alien-esque kind of features that you have. Length and elegance, it's beautiful. And something else your future spouse craves is that pussy or that D. Like genuinely, you are hot. With the Queen of Wands here, you are hot. The Queen of Wands is the hottest female in the deck. Empress, she's beautiful. Queen of Wands, she is hot. And don't get me wrong, guys, you are beautiful too. Like, you are stunningly beautiful too. But your future spouse in particular is like, wow, I am so actually attracted and drawn to this person. It's like they can smell your pheromones from a mile off. They're just like, I need to get inside or get on top of pile number 2. And again, I'm just seeing this breast area. I don't know whether your future spouse is going to have Aquarius in their chart. They could have an Aquarius descendant. I'm also feeling Leo Venus with your future spouse, and I'm also feeling Cancerian energy as well. So you both may share this Cancerian energy with each other. Kali Ma is coming in very strongly, and I feel like it wasn't long ago, she came into another reading as well, but Kali Ma is coming in. I think your future spouse at first thinks that you're going to just basically like eat them alive. Like there's something about you that's just so desirable and they're so magnetized towards you, and they actually are just like drooling over you. But there's a fear there because they generally don't feel like they can match up to you. You are so out of their league, in their mind anyway. I'm not saying that you are completely out of their league, but you intimidate the absolute crap out of them. But no, actually, I'm going to actually say, because I'm feeling this feeling now, that you are out of their league. You genuinely are out of their league. And if you weren't so kind, and it's your kindness that opens up the gate for them to be able to approach. They're just lucky that they met you in a very kind of laid back environment, i.e. through a friend. And they get the chance to talk to you because they would have never approached you otherwise. You are too hot for them in their eyes. And this is absolutely beautiful because it means that they're always going to appreciate your beauty. They're always going to appreciate your actual energy. You're the kind of person who literally just has to look at them and they're ready to go. If they're a male, they are locked and loaded every time you look at them. I've never used that phrase before. And if they're a female, obviously, they panties, they're getting a little bit wet. So as soon as you look at them, like, it's just something about your energy, it's your pheromones, it's the chemistry that you guys have together. Like, you just get them going and they just crave you so much in that more actual way. And that energy really is kind of overpowering this reading, but I am going to try and see if there's anything else that they're craving other than that. There's something around you, controlling energies around you. So I don't know whether you're somebody who doesn't put up with SHIT, don't know whether you're somebody who removes yourself from energies or situations that aren't for your highest good. You're not the kind of person to turn up to a party and stay there even though the vibe is low. You're the kind of person who says, hey, after 10 minutes, I think I'm going to dip out because, I'm just not feeling it tonight. So there's something around you having control over the energies around you, but I do also think there's something very influential around you as well. I don't know whether you are an influencer. I don't know whether you actually work from home as well, because that's coming up, but that doesn't have to be for everybody. But very, very influential. I think you have a skill. The skill of sales is coming through very strongly here. You're able to talk somebody into feeling an energy that you want them to feel. I hope this isn't too cryptic, but this is coming through very strongly here. I feel like a lot of people look up to you and a lot of people gravitate towards you. You magnetize a lot of people in. You could be somebody who is very, very popular. People just love your energy. They eat that energy up. So many people just want a little bit of what you've got as well. You just bring peace everywhere you go. You bring calm and stability everywhere you go. You could actually be a healer of some kind as well, whether you're aware of this or not. You could be somebody who's a bit of a night owl. You could be somebody who likes to utilize the new moons and the full moons. You find that very beneficial. If you do have Cancer energy, that would make so much sense. I definitely feel like you're somebody who feels other people's emotions. I think quite instantly when you meet your future spouse, you pick up on some hidden emotions that no one else has ever picked up on before when it comes to them. Emotions that they're probably trying to hold back. It's like you're able to open up your future spouse when it comes to their emotions, and I don't think they've opened up to many people about their emotions previously. They crave the fact that they can finally let their emotions flow with you. It's like through craving you, they crave their own emotional understanding and awareness. They also crave the excitement that you bring into their life. And I think a lot of this excitement, going back to the SE actual energies, because you are hot, they want to try new things with you. They feel so lucky every day. Like every day is Christmas when they wake up next to you. It's like every single morning they get to unwrap your body and they love that. But at the same time, because you go with the flow, the thing is, like, people who don't go with the flow, people who don't move with their intuition, they are the people who tend to stay in stale relationships, stay in stale jobs, because we're evolving beings. The human experience comes with its twists and its turns so that we can evolve. We're not here to be born to be the same person and live the same life and have the same mindset for the rest of our lives. We are supposed to evolve, and with evolvement comes change, newness, boundary pushing, fears, overcoming fears. So because you go with the flow, you move with the tides. It's a movable journey, the human life. So you may be somebody who does tend to like chop and change quite often. You may chop and change when it comes to your belief systems. You may chop and change when it comes to career, places that you live. You may be somebody who likes to travel or wants to travel. And I think you really do help your future spouse kind of come out of their own stale situations. You bring excitement into their life and you make them understand the similarity between fear and excitement. Anything that's worth having is going to bring fear. There's going to be fear. And I think you help your future spouse build a healthy relationship with fear. They will see fear as something that they have to overcome rather than something that they need to run away from. And subconsciously, they can feel this in your energy field. It's not a conscious thing that they crave, it's a subconscious thing that they crave. A lesson that they crave from you, something that they know that they're going to gain from this connection, and they subconsciously crave that about you. I want to say there is a lot of lessons to be learned within this relationship. And I only say that because of the heavy SE actual energy with you guys, part number 2, your connection together. This could be a twin flame relationship here that we're looking at as well. So there's going to be a lot of movement within your relationship, a lot of newness, a lot of shocks, a lot of surprises within your relationship. But something I can guarantee for you both is you are not going to be bored. I think you are going to have to pull your future spouse out of their comfort zone at times, but they're craving that from you. They can feel that from you. You may need to teach your future spouse to say no as well. I think you've got a way of saying no, but in a very, very polite way. And that is also a skill. You are very skilled. I do feel like you're so mesmerizing, you're so hypnotizing to your twin flame. Twin flame, future spouse. I just said twin flame automatically. You're so mesmerizing to them that they're willing to do absolutely anything for you. you may take a bit more of a domineering role within the relationship at times. And I don't think you mind that. I think you quite like to have that like kind of like control. I don't think you like to be overly controlling within a relationship, but I do think you like to have, you know, an equal amount of control. You understand the equality when it comes to like masculine and feminine, males and females, partnerships within relationships. I do think potentially you could have came from a family where there wasn't as much balance between the masculine and the feminine. Maybe you had a very dominant father, and maybe your mother potentially had to kind of like beat to your father's drum, or vice versa, which has made you in your adulthood understand the importance of holding your power within a relationship and holding like that masculine kind of stance within a relationship, whilst also expressing your beauty and your femininity. I do feel like you are somebody who's very spiritual. And I feel like a very light kind of spirituality with you. I want to say that you could be like an earth witch or something like that. Very much into your natural remedies as well. You could actually work in healthcare or beautifying in some way. I do see there being like a lot of essential oils around you, crystals. And I think you really do open up this more like kind of light and airy spirituality for your future spouse as well. And that's something they crave as well, like the ease and the calm that you bring, the balance that you bring to their life. And I say that as I look at my viewfinder and I realise this is part number 2. It's a number of balance. I think their whole life changes when you guys meet. I think they express their dreams to you, their hopes, their dreams, their goals, and you pave a path for them to achieve them. A creative path. There's something very creative about you as well. I'm feeling something around jewellery here. I don't know whether you like jewellery, like really, really like jewellery, whether you make your own jewellery or whether you've thought about starting your own like jewellery business side hustle, because that's coming up very strongly too. I don't know whether any of you have like green hair. I don't know whether you've dyed your hair green previously, whether you wear like a green wig. Something coming up around that also. I don't know whether some of you have actually recently cut your hair short as well. And I want to say like this could actually be quite short, like shoulder length or shorter. I feel like you've recently came out of a very, very reflective energy. Or you will be coming out of a very reflective energy when you do meet your future spouse. There's something about the 8th month here. There's also something about 11/11. I don't know whether you meet your future spouse in August or whether the month August means anything to you. Weirdly, the month August came up for pile number 1 as well. As cliche as it sounds, I really do think you are going to see the angel number 11/11 before you meet your future spouse. If you're seeing the number 11/11 now, I do want to say it's coming. It's really coming. But I also have 444 coming through, 4444. And I think they're coming in at times of, yeah, when the angels send you the 4s in particular, I want to say they come in at times of kind of congratulations. They come at a time where you've made moves or shifts to tell you, well done. You've just added a little bit more solidity to your foundations. They're like, it comes in as like a congratulations when you see all the 4s. It's something I want to say very strongly. I do see you and your future spouse living somewhere in the future that's very like, it's like either a lot of forestry or a lot of like jungle. So there's an element of just freedom for you both that I see in your future, and that's absolutely beautiful. It's like living the simple life. I really do see retreats coming up here for you guys. I don't know whether you're planning to go on a retreat. I don't know whether you've got plans to go on a retreat. Maybe you're saving up to go on a retreat, or whether for some of you, you may actually end up opening up your own retreat one day, because that's coming through very strongly as well. Okay then, pile number 2, I'm going to leave that reading there. I hope this helped in some way. If it did, I do ask that you drop me a lovely, lovely like and comment down below if you have anything at all to say. I highly recommend that you go over to Spiritual Beasts Tarot channel, where she's done her own future spouse reading, and her deets will be in the description box down below. Please subscribe if you do like content like this, because it means that you will be notified whenever I do post a brand new pick a card reading. And yes, pile number 2, look after yourselves, and I shall see you next time. Goodbye. Hello there, pile number 3, welcome to your reading. Let's find out what your future spouse will crave about you. So you guys chose Saint Lucy here. Now, first off, I want to say that you may be seeing the number 24. The number 24 may mean something to you. You may be seeing the number 2424. I do also want to throw out the number 333 and 3333 for you guys as well. I'm also feeling a lot of pressure and twitching behind my left eye as I tapped into your energy. And I never ever get any activity when it comes to my left eye, but it feels like it's all around my left eye. So I don't know whether you're somebody who's been having any issues with your eyes recently, whether you've been having any issues with your left eye in particular, or whether you get like a lot of headaches and migraines and it seems to reside around like the left side of your head or your eye, because that's coming in very, very significantly here. When we think about the left eye, and the left side of the whole body in particular, that's like the feminine side of the body. So there may be something with regards, something that you're not seeing when it comes to your femininity, pile number 3. For some of you, I feel like this could literally just be beauty. Maybe you've got a skewed view on beauty standards and you're not seeing the beauty within you. I think for some of you, you're not seeing the true purpose of a female. I think for this pile, and I don't want to offend anybody here at all because I'm just here to try and advise, but I think for some of you, you may think that femininity means being like a doormat. And I'm saying it in the most blunt way because I'm an Aries Mercury, and sometimes I can only say things in blunt ways and I end up offending people. So, but it's like, to some of you, you feel that, or maybe you've grown up in households where the female has always had to back down, where the female's had to be the one who's like lenient, let things go. And I feel like some of you aren't seeing what being a feminine truly, truly entails. Some of you need to empower the feminine element of you, or re-empower the feminine element of you. Whether you've always had this skewed view of femininity, I even want to say for some of you, and this won't be for everybody, pile number 3, but for some of you, you may have even thought at times, or even said out loud at times, like, I don't like being a woman. I wish I wasn't a woman. And if you're a masculine watching this, the same goes. It's your feminine side that needs some kind of, like, you need some insight when it comes to your feminine side, because there is something that you are not seeing properly when it comes to your femininity. But whether this kind of like skewed view on femininity has came from your childhood, or whether you've experienced this within a relationship in your adulthood, I feel like for some of you, you could have actually ended up in relationships with a very toxic masculine, whether that masculine be female or masculine, okay, because we're not secluding any genders here, okay, this goes for men as well. But I feel like for a lot of you, you may have either had a father who was a very toxic masculine or a partner who was a very toxic masculine, and they pushed you into the toxic feminine, and that toxic feminine being like the feminine who doesn't feel like they have that power, the feminine who doesn't feel like they have that equality. And I'm sorry we came in like quite deep at the get-go for you guys, part number 3, but that wanted to come out very strongly, especially because my left eye was just doing crazy things, and I've never experienced that with my left eye before. And after I finished that section of the reading, my left eye has just calmed down completely. It's crazy. And you know what's really crazy as well, guys, is that this card in particular, Saint Lucy, she is the saint of sight issues, patron saint of sight issues, or something along those lines. I'm hearing blind faith come in as well. So I don't know whether you've had like a phase in your life where you've had blind faith in things. But I don't see this as having faith as in, I'm sorry, part number 3, guys, but I have to be real, I have to tell you what I see. I don't see this blind faith being you feeling intuitively drawn in a particular direction. I see this blind faith being like, wow, I'm so overwhelmed, I don't know what to do, I'm just going to kind of let fate do its thing. And having faith that the situations that you're in are going to work themselves out, when in reality, to work things out, it requires movement. So yeah, a lot of advice coming in for you, part number 3 on the get-go. Something around you changing the way that you communicate. Even changing the way that you act with the people in close proximity to you. So I've got the 3rd house coming up here in particular, and the 3rd house is communication, it's mindset, it's neighbours, it's siblings, it's cousins. So I want to say you're changing the way that you communicate and interact with the people close to you. And I do think it's because you've reached a point where you've been pushed to your limits, I want to say, part number 3, with something in your life. I'm hearing good girl gone bad now. Very strongly, good girl gone bad. And again, I'm not secluding any masculines here, okay? It could be good boy gone bad. But it's like, right, I'm not having anybody use me as a doormat anymore. That's coming up very, very strongly here. Now, you could have some heavy Scorpio in your chart. You could be a Scorpio sun, moon, rising. You could have a Scorpio 3rd house. Or you could have Pluto in Scorpio, which is a generational placement. So quite a few of you probably will. Or you could have Pluto in the 3rd house, in particular here. There's something around you naturally being very giving and extremely generous. And it is actually such a beautiful energy. It's like one of your gifts. I think so many people are attracted to you and magnetized towards you because of your kindness and your very kind of like beautiful energy. I could even be, I see like a dynamic of like Aries and Libra here as well. So I don't know whether you've got like Aries and Libra in your chart. I don't know whether you've got like an Aries North Node, Libra South Node, or vice versa, because that's coming through as well very strongly here. But you're naturally very giving, but I think some people have taken advantage of your giving nature in the past. I want to say for you, part number 3, you don't have to get rid of this giving nature. You just have to know who are the right people to give to and who are the wrong people to give to. Who are the ones who are going to appreciate it? Who are the ones who are going to appreciate it and give back to you and fill your cup back up? And who are the ones who are just going to take? And I think you're actually seeing things clearer now, and you're being able to differentiate the people who deserve your giving and loving energy and the people who don't. Now, your future spouse is going to love this beautiful energy that you have, this beautiful giving energy, and they are going to literally see you as like an angel. I even want to say like you're a guide, you're an angel to so many people. There's like a beauty to you as well. I don't know whether you've got like a light pink aura, and I know a lot of you won't know. You'll be like, I don't know what my aura is, but for some of you who can see auras, feel auras, or have had like aura imaging before, by the way, I would love to have like an aura image taken of me. That'd be absolutely amazing. But yes, I'm feeling very light pink in your energy. Something very romantic about your energy. I feel there's something very kind of classically beautiful about your face as well. There's hope in your heart is something I want to say. And yeah, we've got the light pinks down here as well in your cards. So yeah, hope in your heart. Romance as well. Like, all you're looking for is that childlike romance. That person that you can feel like a child with again. Feel open with. And with this pink in your aura, it's also giving me rose quartz vibes as well. So I don't know whether your favourite crystal is rose quartz, or whether you're advised to get yourself a rose quartz, because that is going to magnetize in your future spouse and that beautiful, romantic and childlike energy that you're looking for within a partnership. You really want someone that you can kind of like play with. I sense in your energy that you're very playful at heart. Your energy is naturally very, very light, but because you're so giving, you kind of open up your energy field so that people can dump on it, and it's that makes your energy heavier. It's not because you have a heavy energy, it's because you're allowing people to dump their energy onto your energy. but you have a natural light energy like a child, and you need somebody who can mirror that back to you. There's so much love and so much happiness and so much fun and so much play in your future, and because I'm getting all this childlike energy through as well, it makes me think that you may have a child, or your future spouse may have a child. You're definitely going to have children together. I can really, really see this. I see one child in particular coming through for you and your future spouse. But yeah, like, I feel very sad about what you've been through, because I can feel very strongly that you have been taken the absolute PISS out of at times by certain people. Not by everyone, but by certain people. But I am so happy in your energy to know that this childlike love and romance is coming your way. And it's going to make all the things that you've been through previously worthwhile. There's something around style with you in particular. It's like you have like a feminine / trendy / casual style. And I feel like your style in particular is something that's going to really catch your future spouse's eye. Like, they particularly like the way that you dress. They like the way that you can take very like masculine cuts and make them very feminine on you, if you are a feminine. If you're a masculine, I want to say, like, there's like a femininity when it comes to your style. I think there's something around you being very conservative when you do dress. But people still being very actually attracted to you, even though you are covering up a lot of your, you know, more actual bits. So there's something around your future spouse craving how, like, there's like a classiness to you, there's an intelligence coming through. Your future spouse really likes how well presented you are, and they really crave you for this reason. Your future spouse is giving me a lot of earth energy in particular, so I think they're very particular, actually. I can feel them being very particular, very fussy when it comes to people that they're actually interested in. This is not somebody who'll just jump into bed with anybody. This is not somebody who'll, you know, play around and experiment when it comes to dating. This is somebody who knows what they like and they have a specific type. And I think there's something very strong around your future spouse needing somebody who's very well presented, conservative, intellectual, because they want their family to approve. It's something around your future spouse and their family. It's very, very important for them. And when I'm talking about like being very particular, I'm looking down at this Virgo card here, and it's making me think that your future spouse could have some Virgo energy. Could look at Capricorn. We could be having Taurus energy here as well with your future spouse. When I said particular, it makes me think of that Virgo kind of energy. They're very particular. They like somebody who's very well presented, somebody who's very groomed, and that is you, and they crave that. So when they see you for the first time, they're like, wow, like, this is everything I have wanted. This is everything that my family would approve of. This is everything that I approve of. There's an element around your future spouse. And I don't know whether you're both from a culture, or one of you is from a culture, or they're from a culture where it is more appropriate for the female to cover up. Because there's something around that making your future spouse really crave you. They just know that they've met their match because of that as well, okay? So I'm going to throw that in there. It won't be for everybody, okay? But that wants to come through as well. I'm getting Sagittarius energy coming through with you too, by the way. There's something around your bum and your thighs as well that your future spouse really craves. I feel like there's like a bit of like an artisticness with you, or some kind of talent when it comes to aesthetics. And I think you are a lot more aesthetic than they are. I think they feel like you have the colour that can kind of like paint their life. Like, they're very like black and white, I want to say, or they feel a bit black and white in the moment, and you've got that colour to bring like a splash of colour into their life. And they really like that about you. And I hope that analogy is all right, and I hope you actually understand that analogy, but that's the way I was seeing it. It's like they come in very bland, very kind of matter of fact. It's very Virgo. Again, you know, it's kind of like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that Virgos are bland, but if you had just all Virgo energy in your chart, there's like, I want to say with Virgo, there can be a bit of a fear to kind of colour out the lines. There can be a bit of a fear to do something that's like a little bit different and a little bit quirky. It's like they're always seeking that perfection, and whatever perfection is in the moment. And I absolutely adore Virgo energy because you can really sheen your luck if you've got heavy Virgo in your chart. I've got no Virgo in my chart. I do have a Virgo 8th house, but I've got no planets in Virgo. So Virgo in my chart it's not like prominent. And I can always tell somebody with prominent Virgo in their chart because they can take certain styles, certain trends, certain anything, and just really kind of perfect it and sheen it and make it look pretty flawless and unreal, okay? So please don't think that I am saying anything negative about Virgos and I'm saying that there's like a blandness to Virgos and all Virgos are bland. No, not at all. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm just turning to this Virgo energy, and it makes me think your future spouse could have heavy Virgo energy, or there could be some kind of placement that makes them want to stay within the lines more than the usual person. And you come in and it's kind of like, come on, like, let's colour out of the box a little bit. And they really like that about you. I think when it comes to that side of you, I don't think they thought they were looking for that. And then when you show that, they're like, wow, I like this. It makes me feel liberated, is what I want to say here. And the sun energy, it genuinely is this childlike kind of bond that you guys have. I definitely think, and I did say I feel one child for you both, and I definitely feel like they crave you because they crave having children with you. If you're a female and they're a male, they literally crave sex with you. They crave impregnating you. They crave, I don't know if I can say impregnating, can't I? They crave impregnating with you. They crave settling down with you. This is somebody who wants to settle down long term. This is not somebody who you're going to meet and they'll go, oh, I wasn't looking to settle down, I was looking to live my life, I was a bachelor until I met you. Like, this is somebody who literally wants to settle down and they want to devote themselves to one person. And one cause is coming through as well. It's like a new, because I can see the sun in this card, obviously, because it is a sun card, and then I can see a sunrise in the 7 of discs next to it. And it does make me think, you come in at a time in their life where they just felt everything was dark, where they felt like, I don't know if I'll ever meet anybody again. And it could be the same for you. You guys could be sharing this energy. This person comes in at a time where you thought like you were going to go through a winter period or a night period, and then the sun rises again and you're like, whoa, where did you come from? I definitely feel, and especially from what I said at the beginning of this reading, that you have many different faces for different people. And I don't mean this in a fake way or a two-faced way or a manipulative way, because that's not what I'm feeling at all with you guys. I'm just feeling like you've had to have many faces for many different people because you like to, it just feels very natural to please people. You don't want to upset people. And this is actually something that your future spouse likes about you. And again, it comes along with this like this element of you being extremely well presented. I do think they want to kind of help you come back to base and show you that you have, because the inner child's coming through now, which makes me think that you're due some inner child healing, or going back to you and your feelings and what you were interested in and what made you happy as a child, because you may have lost yourself over the years so much because you've been wearing all these different faces. You've forgotten which face is yours. And I think it's this childlike romance that's coming in with your future spouse that helps you reconnect with the inner child to remember who you are, what you like, what you want to do with the rest of your life, what you think is fun, what role you feel like you should be playing in a relationship instead of playing all of the roles. And they illuminate this for you. But they also see the skill and the effort that you put in when it comes to pleasing people. I think they just try and help you hone that so that you're not being completely self-sacrificial. Something about your, sorry, I snorted a bit, something about your face in particular that they really adore. And I think they literally kind of like go, oh, about your face in particular. That was me going, oh, that wasn't me. That sounded a bit rude, didn't it, the way that I just said that. But they literally go, oh, like there's something just so like adorable about you. They literally want to say like you're adorable, like you make their heart melt. They just want to protect you, they want to covet you. And they also, it also makes them very, 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 very horny for you as well, because they're like, oh, my adorable, beautiful pile number 3. But it's like they really, they find you so actually attractive, but it's in a very kind of investment way. And this is where I'm getting this like very earthy energy with your future spouse. It's like sex is to create life. And it's not that they'll only have sex with you when they want to create life, but they're very practical even when it comes to sex. And it's like this adorableness that you have. They're like, oh my god, my beautiful pawn number 3. I want to protect my pawn number 3. I want to just kind of, my pawn number 3, if you know what I mean. Like, I actually had like one of my best friends say the other day, and this is exactly the same energy that I'm feeling here for you guys, but one of my best friends the other day said, have you ever thought that an animal was so cute that you just wanted to, like crush it? And obviously they didn't mean it like in like a horrible like bad way. They just meant like you just kind of want to squeeze it so tight and just like you can never squeeze a cute animal tight enough. That's basically what they were saying, okay? And then they said, sometimes I feel that way about you. And I was like, oh, that's cute kind of thing. But I'm feeling that exact same energy with you guys, and that's how your future spouse feels. I think they crave to be that protector as well, and they can see that they can be that protector with you. It's like they've got like there's like a savior within them, and it doesn't mean that you need saving at all, but I don't know whether they were really into superheroes when they were a kid, or maybe they're into comics now, but there's something about them, it's ingrained in them to save. And I think they see you and they're like, they literally see you like the princess at the top of the tower, and they want to fight the dragon to get to you. So I don't know whether that makes any sense to you at all. There's like trust there as well. Like do you know what, the energy of pile number 3 is very different to pile number 1 and pile number 2, because they're very serving, they're very giving, so are you. And this is where you guys are like a great match, because no one's going to take the mick out of the other person. You've gained the clarity to know where to and where not to put your beautiful giving energy. I think they're holding back their giving energy a lot at the moment because they know how easily someone can take the mick out of them, or the PISS out of them. But they see you and they trust you, and they're desperate to give, and they crave to serve, they crave to give, they crave to have somebody to pour their wonderful energy into, and they see you and they're like, that is the person. Pile number 3 is the person that I can just let go and give to. And this is so beautiful. Like 2 giving people coming together, and I absolutely love that. Now, what's interesting here is you guys chose this shell, which I absolutely adore. I think it's actually one of the favourite, or my favourite shell that I have. But guys, look at this card that I also pre-pulled for you. It's the same damn thing. It's the same pattern. Repetitive cycle. I don't know whether you've been in a repetitive cycle for quite a while, or maybe your whole life, and they're craving to pull you out of that, or you'll meet them at a time where you're stuck in a repetitive cycle. I actually wanted to say, for some of you, I think you may know this person already. For some of you, this person may actually be watching from the sidelines. Judgment card. For some of you, this person may have already decided that you're the person that they want to be with, because they want to shift you out of this repetitive cycle here. I don't know whether your future spouse likes a good debate, I don't know whether your future spouse has this like weird like kink, I want to say, for like makeup sex. This could be where this Aries energy comes in. They don't have anywhere to outlet their loving and giving energy, but they also don't have anywhere to let out their aggression. And I do think it's like what I said about the cute little animal. It's quite aggressive to squeeze a cute little animal really tight, and it's like you do something to them actually where they can just release their anger as well because you're so cute and they just want to and don't be alarmed by this at all. It's more like an actual act of dominance. There it is. It's the actual act of dominance. And I think you're going to find with your future spouse that makeup sex is like their favourite sex because they get to be the most dominant in that moment. My voice is going for some reason. There's always a reason when my voice goes. Maybe they don't necessarily feel very masculine at the moment. Maybe they're in a situation where they're not being heard. Maybe for those of you where this person is in your energy or is in your life, or even if they're just on the sidelines, maybe they don't feel like they can communicate something with you that they want to communicate with you. Because also St. Lucy, she's blind. It's like you can't see that this person is already in your life for a lot of you. And for those of you who this person isn't already in your life, I want to say, you're going to want to keep your eyes peeled because you may delay this connection because you don't even notice that this person is here, or you don't notice that this person likes you in that way. But there's something around like aggression and sex and dominance that's like really hot for this person. I also want to say, don't be alarmed if you end up having like any arguments with this person because they really do get turned on by that. There could be something very cute about your nose or your face when you do get angry. Like, I think they're going to giggle and they're going to say, I just can't take you seriously when you're angry. That's coming up very strongly here as well. Something around a candle tattoo and is it evil eye? I don't know whether somebody's going to express that they want a candle tattoo or a tattoo of like the evil eye or the protective evil eye, or whether this person's going to have that or whether you already have that, because that's coming up too. There's something around like a wrist tattoo coming up as well. Somebody who has a tattoo around their wrist, like a little bit of like a bracelet. Pile number 3, I think I'm going to leave that there. I think I've covered all bases. I do hope this resonated in some way. If you did like this video, I please ask that you do pop a little like down below, tap the like button because it does help the video circulate, which also helps the channel grow, which means that I can bring more videos like this to you. If you do have anything to say at all, because I absolutely adore hearing from you guys, please comment down below. You are always welcome to share, express, communicate with me, communicate with others in the comments. I absolutely love the community that the comments bring. Also, do not forget to check out Spiritual Beast's Future Spouse Pick a Card reading. I am so excited to pick a pile myself. I know it is going to be an absolute good one. So the links to that video will be down below in the description for you to find. So you can easily access that, and subscribe if you do like content like this, because it means that you will be notified whenever I do post a brand new pick a card reading. So pile number 3, look after yourself. 333, I said this at the start of the reading, 33 will come through when you are getting closer to your future spouse. I feel that so strongly for you guys. And yes, take care of yourselves, pile number 3, and I shall see you next time. Goodbye.